Were we fools, really? Fools to our ambition? Ignorantly naive? Or was there something to our belief that it could be done? Or that it was at least worth trying? There were sponsors to think of, after all. There were 40,000 school children from 800 schools around the world who were following our expedition. We had a film deal with National Geographic. We had to continue, if only to learn without a doubt that it was indeed now impossible to cross the empty quarter. We had to come to terms with ourselves and the reality that we were willing to fail, but we were not willing to quit. Something perhaps we could add number 6 to Giuliani's list of principles of leadership. A willingness to fail and learn from those mistakes, but a resilience, a willingness not to quit. It seemed essential. A beautiful landing. The door opens to a rush of desert air. It's just after 7 in the morning. Temperature's already in the 80s. Mixture of Gulf air and desert smells. Intoxicating, and marks the beginning of a new adventure. We enter the Seed International Airport. Around us, rich red sands, whitewashed buildings, mosques all topped with a domed roof, symbolizing, for Muslims, the belief that there is but one God. We accrue customs and we drive to the coastal city of Salalah. The highways, local streets are immaculate, lined with manicured hedges, palm trees, flower gardens with scattered bougainvillea. And the streets and the parks are men and women dressed in the traditional garb of Arab, restricted by its moral codes. The men wear red checkered cloth wrapped skillfully about their heads. The women are fully clothed in black abaya, their faces veiled, only their eyes showing. Windows open, we drive to our training camp and meet our Bedou companions. Imagined or not, the sweet smell of frankincense cuts through the desert air. We meet our 3 Bedou companions who have been selected by the local sheikhs and the tribes to accompany us. Salam alaikum, they shout. Peace be with you. Alaikum assalam, we answer back a little tentatively. With you be peace. We first meet Salim bin Hazar al-Mashiri al-Kathiri. Ali is 19 years old and carries himself with an athlete's grace. He stretches out his hand to me with an eager smile and boyish good looks, and he walks with that confidence, even the mild arrogance of a young man who feels invincible. Ali has been chosen for his knowledge of camels. He raced them as a young boy and now makes his living racing camels for sale to wealthy breeders. Musallam bin Abdullah bin Ghurayat al-Kathiri. At 41, he's married and the father of 11 children. Musallam announced that he was the expedition's poet. An odd skill, we thought, for an expedition. And he must have detected our disappointment. When we met him the next day, he stood before us with great pride and said, "I am also a camel doctor." Okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Not understanding clearly that the oral history of the Bedou is recorded in poems, iambic pentameter set to prose to trigger the memory, passed through countless flames to generation. This is how the history of their country, of their people has been recorded. Fools, ignorant as we were, we didn't understand that. Nor did we understand the medical practices. As the trip unfolded, we learned the treatment for camel and human ailments was the same. You know what's going to happen. When a problem was identified, it could be a camel's limp or a human's nagging headache, the cleaning rods from our rifles were plunged into the fire heated red hot, and then pressed into the ailing shoulder or temple, perhaps. Belief among the Bedou is that the evil spirit causing the problem is then driven from the flesh, and the person or camel is cured. For the Canadians, this medical technique worked as profound preventative medicine. Nobody got sick after that. You do not want to know the cure for loose bowels in Arabia.